Good evening and welcome to AAES News. Today we have a special program planned just for you. The content of today's news is that 5 people died at hooliganism at Stamford Bridge. Domestic abuse destroyed the life of a young woman. 1 girl was brutally attacked in the city of Newcastle, and 2 girls were raped and left at the park. Today we're going to report the death of 5 people, and one of them was unfortunately a young boy by the age of 10. According to our resources, 138 people were affected by this occurrence, as 40 people suffer from major injuries and 5 people have sadly passed away. The cause of this horrible accident was a hooliganism at Stamford Bridge and the stadium in London, Stamford Bridge in London, as Arsenal and Chelsea were the teams playing against each other. This event took place yesterday around 4 p.m. close to the ending match, as Arsenal scored 4-1 and was going to take the trophy home with them. The fans of Chelsea got upset about this and started a fuss and make a big disaster, and that caused the death of 5 people. From the security footage that we got from the security department in the stadium, we can see that people were throwing things at each other. The main causes of the death that caused the death of the people. The majority of people died due to brain concussion and suffocation. The ambulance arrival was also a bit delayed, and that increased the death rate at the moment. Police also suspect there was an attempt of murder, as 2 people were stabbed with a knife in the abdominal area, and they are not being taken care of in the intensive care unit section in the hospital, because they are in a very critical position. The cause of hooliganism is still unclear, as many people have reported the event judging from different perspectives. But from what the majority have reported, we believe that the main cause is juvenile delinquency. Through our inside sources, we believe there are many committed hooligans, but there are also some normal fans that would preferably not get involved. But once the disaster starts, they would get involved and make the disaster bigger than it already was.
Hello, my name is Alva Landgren, and we're gonna talk about domestic violence. Every year, the police get many reports on abuse in the homes, mostly made by men on children and women. The statistics show that 1/3 of the population in England has sometime in their life experienced violence in the home. But why do we always assume that it's made by the man? It doesn't always have to be the man in the home, but according to specialists, men are most likely to use violence when he doesn't get his way. Men seem to be more controlling and want to have the upper hand. Several women that have been through domestic violence are having problems with getting out of their relationship because of fear. Soon we'll be talking to a woman in Birmingham who is 35 years old and has a history of domestic violence. She and her fiancé were together for 20 years and were high school sweethearts. One day it all changed, and she got to experience the worst time in her life. And now we have an interview with her.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so we are very happy that we got the opportunity to talk to you.
It's my pleasure. If I can help women around the world to encourage them to do something about it, then I'm glad.
If we take this from the beginning, tell us about the time before it all happened and your relationship.
Yes, me and my fiancé met in high school when I was 15 and he was 16. So we were both quite young. I didn't like him at the beginning. He went in the year above me, and I thought he was kind of a jerk. But he fought for me, and he won me over, and I fell madly in love with him. I didn't think we would be together for so long, but our bond and love was inseparable.
What happened after that?
We both graduated and got ourselves pretty good careers. And when I was 26, we started to talk about children, and we tried, but nothing happened. He got very frustrated and started to having a really bad mood all the time. And things got worse. He started yelling at me like every day. And before this, he was the nicest guy I knew. He was full of love and kindness. I've never felt so insecure in his arms before. I never thought he could transform this way. I remember a certain day when I was 27 and it was the summer. I was going to celebrate my best friend's birthday, and he gave me a time to be home, and I thought it was a little bit strange, but I didn't think about it that much. I came home about 20 minutes later than we agreed upon, and when I opened the door, he sat in the sofa and started yelling at me, and he slapped me in the face. I was shocked. I never thought this of the man that I was in love with. And from that day, it all went downhill.
How did you deal with him abusing you?
He has hurt me both physically and psychically. But when I started to get bruises and open wounds, I felt embarrassed, and I just hid it with clothes and sunglasses. I didn't tell anyone. I have never felt so alone in my whole life.
For how long did this go on?
For about 7 years, my everyday bestod of mental instability and him physically destroying me.
2 år, 3.
And now you're all wondering why I didn't just leave him. And it's easy for everyone else to tell just to leave, but it's more than you can imagine. For 15 years I've loved the man, and he has been my world ever since I met him. I felt safe and he controlled me. But the worst thing is that I felt like I wasn't worth a better life. And the man that you leave can make your life a living hell. I remember a certain day when it all
Top of the, I remember. How did you get out of it?
one day it all went down, and I've never felt so scared in my whole life. He pushed me so hard that I fell down the stairs, and I was put in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And from that day I couldn't lie anymore. I had to tell my parents and my friends, and the police got involved, and he got to pay for what he done. And now I am married for real this time with a man that I love and cherish so much, and he respects me for who I am. We have 2 children together and living a happy life. So my advice to all of you guys out there that is being controlled by a partner is to leave as quick as you can and not let it go so much time that I did. And don't make yourself small because you matter to someone. And to tell everyone, have friends that grow courage with you, and tell your parents, because it will matter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Emma Persson. Yesterday, late on the evening, a 15-year-old girl was attacked by 4 younger boys. It's still unclear who the 4 boys are, but the police are working on this case very ambitiously. It all happened in Newcastle when the girl was on her way home. She was about to go through a tunnel when suddenly 4 boys attacked her and beat her down. There is one problem, and that is that she needs to pass through a tunnel to get home. There is no other way. Usually she runs through or walks fast. Sometimes she even calls a friend, just to have someone to talk to. This time she didn't do any of that and decided to just walk while listening to music in her headphones. At that time of the day, there were barely any people outside in that area. And since it was in a tunnel, nobody saw anything. The incident occurred at around 10 p.m. The girl was later found by an old man who was walking with his dog. She was very quickly taken to the Newcastle General Hospital. Doctors have said that the injuries are severe and that they are doing everything they can to help her. The situation right now is that she can walk without help and has a lot of pain in her stomach, which is directly a result from the kicks. The doctors believe that some of her organs are injured and she is suffering from internal bleeding. The local police are investigating the case. Ranan Eichmann, a policeman from Newcastle, has commented on the situation, saying, "It is very sad to have this happen to a young girl. We will look into this and make sure justice is served. My thoughts go to her family and friends." The organization Strong Together have also spoken out on this matter, specifically Anna Eklund, a member of the organization. Something like this should not happen to a 15-year-old girl or anyone. This incident does affect the victim physically, but it does also affect her loved ones mentally. We should instead strive for a more stable society and stay strong together. I hope the situation improves. Strong Together has made a trending hashtag to support non-violent society. No more 15. People from everywhere in the world are supporting this. On Twitter, No More 15 is the top trend topic. I had the opportunity to speak to this girl, who still wanted to thank everybody for the support and especially Strong Together, who told her story to the whole world. She said that she is doing better and better every day. Thank you. Hello, my name is Alice Bengtsson. Yesterday at 3 a.m., 2 girls were raped. They were walking through the park on their way home in East Bradford, England, like they normally do, said one of the victims. But this time, 5 men appeared from the shadows and ran up to the girls before they could realize what was happening. One of the men hit the first victim unconscious, and the next one attacked the other victim. When the victim woke up, they were in an ambulance. A woman found the 2 girls in the morning. She tells us she was going for the morning walk with her dog, when her dog stopped and started barking at some bushes. The woman walked over to see what her dog was barking at. She tells us that she was in shock of what she found. She found the girls and the clothes was all ripped off, and one of them had scratches on her arms and in her face. It was a terrible sight, and I thought they were dead. Only one of them have woken up, and she can only give us a vague description of the men. Then they were all tall and spoke another dialect and what she is used to in Bradford. She also tells us that the men seemed to be drunk and were young, between 25 and 30 years old. She tells us that when her friend was attacked, she turned around and saw 4 other men besides the man who attacked her friend. One of the 4 men ran directly at her and grabbed her arm, threw her to the ground, and after that she doesn't remember anything. The girl who has woken up is physically stable right now. The second victim has an internal bleeding and a brutal concussion and haven't woken up yet. The police has searched the area and suspect 2 men. They haven't arrested anyone yet. The police ask the community for help. Have anyone seen or heard anything that can be for any help? Please contact the police as soon as possible. Any information will be helpful. Please call the number on the screen. Thank you for watching.
That's the content we have for this evening's news, and stay tuned and thank you for watching.
pausa. En gång till. Pausa. Två tystämmar.
gör jag alltid.
Hello, it's me.
Other to someone.
En gång till. Pausa.